The first step in making my figure was designing the aspects for it. I took inspiration from designs such as Marvel's Storm, She-Hulk, and Fantastic Beasts' Newt Scamander, as well as fan-made ones such as Markiplier, Female Commander Shepard, and Isley Amell. Once I had a rough design as to what my character would look like, I then drew on faint lines where I would be putting on the clay. For the clay, I used Das White Modelling Air clay. I then started to add the clay using the sketch marks as guidelines and utensils such as my thumb, pencils and carving tools for the shapes. Once the clay was completely dry, I began to sand it for a smooth surface. Part of the hair fell off during the process, so I continued sanding that area until the break was no longer noticeable. After that, I began to paint with a mixture of Crawford and Black white paint, Goldmir's deep red gouache paint and Goldmir's ochre yellow gouache paint. For the shirt texture, I rolled out a thin piece of clay and wrapped it around the figure's neck, and then I got a flat carving tool to smooth it over. I then repeated this process for the bottom, making it appear like a shirt. Looking back on it, I should have left the bottom part out, as it does make the top appear more like a jumper than it does a crop top. Once the clay was dry, I moved on to the painting, which consisted of the white acrylic I used before and Goldmir's black gouache paint. To match the original photo, what I did first was give the entire hair one coat of burnt ombre, and then I moved on to creating the highlight by mixing burnt sienna, burnt ombre, ochre yellow and acrylic white. I started with the darkest tones and then made my way to the lightest. Following that, I then moved on to painting the tiny details such as the eyes, eyebrows and eyelashes. I did this using Goldmir's black gouache paint. To get the shoes to look similar to the ones in real life, I moulded the tongue of the shoes first, and then once that was dry, I wrapped the foot with another thin piece of clay. After coating the shoes with a layer of ochre yellow, I then painted on tiny details such as the fur and shoelace holes with white acrylic. For the black and red flannel wrapped around the figure's waist, what I did was designed a black and white pattern on Photoshop, printed it out and then cut out a rough shape that would fit around the figure's waist. To get the flannel to wrap around my figure's waist, what I did was I grabbed my hot glue gun, stuck down one arm and then stuck the other arm on top of that, and then I cut out a small cube and placed it on top of the two arms so it would appear to be a fold. For the necklace, what I did was I got some white acrylic and a small paintbrush and painted it on, but I did quite a few layers so it would seem 3D. This step was similar to the one that I used for painting on the details with the shoes. And after that, I was completely finished with creating my figure. Obviously, there can be some improvements such as me adding shoelaces or smoothing down the paint before I let it dry out. However, for my first attempt, I do believe this was a very good try and I'd be well equipped for if I was to make one in the future.